Me got baby face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Me got baby face, me got big cheer. Trump bad, Trump good, me no care. Me write big book, kill billies and stuff. Now me import and wear tie up tough. Me go Yale school, me learn big word. Now me forget everything me heard. Silicon people give me job, me take. Now me like Trump, me make no mistake. Yo, it's JD Advance. Fight, walk, folk, me say never die. Me protect kids, me born liberal. Him, them, there. America simple, only two gender. Me face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Too many gender for my agenda. Went on a bender, execo the sender. Might take Panama just like na. Might take Gaza, pop then a plaza. Witness my majesty.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome in to Cobra Cast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Thursday. Hope you're all doing well. I've been busy. I've been making a lot of videos for Geeks and Gamers. I've uploaded 2 videos to Geeks and Gamers, and I have a third one dropping a little bit later tonight. So I've had to kind of, cram on getting the political stuff, news of the day. However, obviously, I'm always keeping up with this stuff. But yeah, there's been a lot going on, a lot to cover. And right when I signed off after a nearly 5-hour stream last night, I said, I think things are going to calm down there in Minnesota. We're probably done for the night. Well, I was wrong. Shit went crazy right after I signed off. And we will talk about all of that. So anyway, hope you're doing well. Jeremy making videos must be AI. It might just be. You never know. You never know. So we got Daniel Moore says Candace is now saying that Kirk is a time traveler who had future agents following him, was off because he tried to disrupt the space-time continuum. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. Candace is a better storyteller than anyone in Hollywood. I would absolutely watch a Charlie Kirk time traveler movie where future agents are following him and he was offed to disrupt the space-time continuum. I would 100% watch that. Okay? Uh-oh, am I frozen? What's going on there? Hello? Am I dead? Hello? Is anything working right now? Testing. What the hell? Am I dead? FPS is low. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Test. It's not even showing that I'm talking right now, which is crazy. You hear me, but you can't. Okay. Even my StreamYards is lagging up on me right now. Nope. What the fuck? All right, give me a minute here. We're going to try to fix this. Hang on. I know what I'm doing. I'm not stupid. Okay? I'm not stupid. I know what's going on. Okay, so we have to change that. We have to turn that off. I'm going to have to restart this whole fucking thing, it looks like. Everything's bad right now. Camera. I changed my StreamYards is completely fucked right now. Like nothing is working for me. Everything is frozen. Everything is frozen right now. Hold on. I'm going to figure this out. Okay. Well, you know what? We're going to have to go to be right back. Don't send super chats while I'm gone. Okay? I don't want you to send super chats while I'm gone. All right? We don't want that. So give me just a minute. Okay. I think I'm back. I think we're back. I don't know if people can hear me yet. Let's see if you guys can hear me. Let me know. Testing. Okay. You can hear me. Now, the question there, can you see me? All right. We're good now. I think we're back. Okay. So that was a disaster. But it doesn't matter because we're here now. All right. All right. We're good. So that was my fault because the first rule of leadership is that it's always your fault. So there we have it. Okay. Now, going back to what I was talking about, Candace Owens is a better writer than anyone in Hollywood. I would pay good money to see Charlie Kirk as a time traveler. And he had future agents following him and was off to disrupt the space-time continuum. I would 100%, I would 100% do that. So, but anyway, Nandy, thank you, Daniel Moore. Nandy dropped 5 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go, Nandy. Hail to you. Great Tang with a gifted membership. Thank you. Timothy says, KK finally stepped down. Not like it matters. Correct. I made a full video on that. And over on Geeks and Gamers. So you guys can check that out if you're interested. Little Jim's Halo says, I wonder if Walls is going to book it to China. Daniel Moore says, someone out there is a 1-to-1 JD Advanced lookalike. John freaking Murdoch says, you're only mostly dead. Hail John Murdoch. Great Thing says, hail Jeremy and Snake Pit. Is Jessica changing her last name to Finger? That's going to be a decision that her and ABF have to make. I can't confirm nor deny. So Wyoming Sasquatch says, first version, now your Boost mobile internet. Let's see here. Miniature Wrong Thing says, Tim Walls moment. I mean, I never have any problems on this stream. That's the first one we've had in a long time. So I think you can forgive me. Okay. Zwani for 50 says, damn it, Jeremy, get your shit together. Yeah, that was a big mistake. I apologize. I am, you guys are used to top quality production value here at CobraCast 199, and I failed you. And, I'm going to take a moment here. Okay. Because I think I've learned a valuable lesson here. Okay. Let me show you this. Okay. Let me show you this. All right. I've learned a valuable lesson here. And I think you're all going to appreciate this too. Verizon, one of the biggest companies there is. And trust me, as a Verizon customer, let me tell you right now, they are very proud of their shit. Okay. Verizon loves their stuff, big time. And so Verizon is extremely expensive. Well, Verizon, after their outage that lasted probably 12 to 15 hours, announces that they're going to give customers a $20 credit. Dude, you should have not even said anything. You shouldn't even have, you just should have said, we're sorry. Like the fact that they offered a $20 credit is insane. I couldn't believe this. I'm like, dude, like their press release was hilarious. It was unbelievable that they thought that this would go over well. Their exact response was, yesterday we did not meet the standard of your excellence you expect and that we expect of ourselves. So that's going to be what I say to you because of my camera issue. Yesterday, Cobra Cast did not meet the standard of excellence that you expect and that I expect of ourselves. To help provide some relief, those affected, we will give you a $20 account credit that will be easily redeemed by logging into my Verizon app. So, hey guys, in order for you to get the credit for us fucking up, you have to sign into our app. You have to go give us more traffic. Give us more traffic to our website, to our app, so that we could give you money. Like, it's such bullshit. It's absolute. Like, they should have not even offered anything. But I would never do that to you, okay? I would never do that to you. Matt McGregor says, Jeremy, I want to see your abs. Matt, so do I. I would love to see my abs if I had them. So that makes two of us. So we're on the same page, brother. I'd love to see my abs too, if I had any. But unfortunately, those don't exist. Let's see. Wyoming Sasquatch says first, Verizon, now you're, oh yeah, you got that. Oh, that's what led me to that Tim Wall's moment. King Moonraiser for a 99-cent. Thank you. Wyoming Sasquatch says Jeremy's gone tags. Jesus Davila for $2. Beastie Man says, sorry, can't help it. I got to send it. Fig. Madney says, best stream ever. Bill Herb says, if Jeremy doesn't read this super chat first thing, then he is a gay, a troon, and I don't make the rules. Damn. Well, I failed you, didn't I? I've already failed everyone, so it's all good. Bill Herb says, Jeremy was attacked by a time-traveling agents from the dark future Kirk came from to save us. That's why all of his streams have bad production quality. That's the only thing that makes sense. I like your thinking. I like your thinking. I greatly do. Okay, so there is some news to talk about. And one of the things that really kind of started the day off was the news that happened last night. So after I signed off, not long after I signed off, this happened right here. Rioters just stole an FBI rifle and ammo after breaking into a locked ICE safe. This was last night. And apparently they got some files and notebooks and everything like that.
Almost there.
Oh, wow. Oh my.
I just want to remind you that this is the group that Tim Walls and Jacob Fry say are peaceful citizens, and they're telling these people to document ICE officers. This is Tim Walls and Jacob Fry's group of people right here. Democrats love criminals.
God. Oh my
Bullet? It's some bullets.
What is it?
I don't know.
What have I always told you? Now, again, I'm just a random idiot on the internet, so I'm just giving you my advice. You can take it or leave it. if you are ever in a situation where people like this are rioting and looting, your safest bet is to go to a bookstore, because they will not go to a bookstore and raid that area. So go to the safe place, find a bookstore, find sanctuary, and you will be completely safe.
No way. Tourniquet there.
Did he get?
Okay. Hey, don't film that.
Oh shit!
We're going to follow the video because we at least do have good news. So we're going to let this finish and then I'll share the good news with you. I would like for somebody that if you're in the area in Minnesota, Minneapolis, how widespread is this? As I mentioned last night, like it's not that, like these things are never as widespread as the perception would lead you to believe. But how widespread is this a couple of blocks? You know, what is your perception on it? If you are in that area, I'm curious about that. Heir to the Empire says, is this a ghetto area? Yes. Wherever a big city has crime and violence and drugs, there's a very, 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 very statistically high chance that it is in fact a ghetto area. And there's also a very, very high chance, statistically speaking, that there is a Martin Luther King Boulevard in the vicinity. So this was 2 o'clock in the morning last night, and we have an update that the rioter with the rifle has been ID'd and he is in federal custody. Well done, well done. Now, upon hearing this news, we wake up this morning to CNN being very upset. Why is CNN upset? Let's listen to why CNN's upset.
Trump is now making a new and serious threat after protests in Minneapolis grew even more chaotic overnight. And there was another shooting involving a federal agent. This agent allegedly ambushed. The president posting this, we'll put it up for you, saying that if Minnesota's politicians don't obey the law and stop the professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking the patriots of ICE, I will institute the Insurrection Act. So that could lead to him deploying U.S. troops on U.S. soil in that state. Elena, let me start with you. This has now been taken to a whole new level by the president with this threat. What are you hearing about this?
Yeah, this is a very big deal. And I should know that this is something we've heard President Trump, of course, threaten in the past. He did so during his first term, particularly around the George Floyd protests that had erupted in 2020. But he also recently did it as well when talking about, wanting to crack down on, different types of protests, but even more specifically, maybe having the military help with law enforcement and trying to crack down on crime and deportations in cities like Los Angeles, Portland, and Chicago. But part of the reason this is such a big deal, let me just break down what the Insurrection Act actually is. It is a 19th century law. It's normally considered.
They're not going to mention how, I don't know how many presidents have used this. Several presidents have used this. I don't know how many, but I think George H.W. Bush was the last one. But they're not going to put any super emphasis on that because they don't want to. And even it says it, they didn't even highlight it where Trump says that in his tweet. They don't even want to put emphasis on that because they don't want you to know. Because they want to build the narrative that Trump is doing something that is so crazy, that is so out of the ordinary. They want you to believe he's reaching so far beyond his power. I wish they would. I wish CNN would interview Trump, and so we could get another answer like this right here.
What are you saying?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if the bomb drops on your head right now?
A last resort for presidents, but it gives presidents the authority to call on active duty military. So you could see potentially people like the Marines or soldiers, National Guard included in that, going into the streets of U.S. cities for law enforcement activities. And it's normally used only in certain specific cases. It can be used at the objection of local leaders. And so that carries its own weight here. Now, in my conversations with Trump officials, this was true during the first term, but even more so now, I should argue, in the president's second term, they have essentially told me that this is something they do not want, that they've been very hesitant to essentially go there despite the president threatening this. Some of that is because of the legal complications, but even more so because of the political ones. And having this type of law enforcement military in the streets, of course, would potentially escalate things so much further. And so this has all been a calculation behind the scenes. Of course, our goal today is to figure out how serious the president is actually about this and whether they're actually making plans potentially to do something to invoke this act, Kate.
I don't think that he's going to do it personally. I think he's just using it as leverage. However, we'll see. Things could change. Things could get more out of control. I personally think he should use it. I'm not saying that what I think he should, but I don't think he will. I think that he is using this to posture and to try to keep them in line. But right here, the man seen in the video stealing a high-powered rifle from an FBI vehicle in Minneapolis has now been arrested by the FBI and the DOJ. Here we go.
The man who had arrested last night breaking into that vehicle, Tom Homan just said he was arrested. I know you just talked to a high-placed source at DOJ. Tell us more.
Yeah, so he wasn't arrested last night. He could have been, but the Minneapolis police didn't bother chasing the vehicle that had just stolen a high-powered rifle out of an FBI.
That puts it into perspective right there. That puts it in, I didn't even know that, but that puts it into perspective. So they could have arrested this clown last night. Minneapolis police, Democrat-led Minneapolis police didn't do anything.
So he wasn't arrested last night. He could have been, but the Minneapolis police didn't bother chasing the vehicle that had just stolen a high-powered rifle out of an FBI car. So that stole it out of one of these weapons lockers that was in the back. But what I can confirm now is that Raul Gutierrez, age 33, that you see in the video that I posted last night, stealing a firearm from an FBI vehicle, has been arrested by the ATF and the DOJ. They executed an arrest warrant today, and he's a known member of the Latin Kings gang. I just got all this information just before I came on air. He's got a lengthy, violent rap sheet. Of course, he should have been in prison already, but in Tim Waltz, Minnesota, like they don't arrest anybody here. So it's not surprising that he was able to go out and beat this gun safe to a pulp and pull this automatic firearm out of it and run away with it. And, you know, hell, if it wasn't for, honestly, a lot of us independent journalists on the ground that were able to get a video of this, nobody would have seen it happen.
Wouldn't know about it.
They were able to find this guy based on a video from independent journalists, the one that we posted last night. I mean, it's crazy that it has to be us doing this.
Yeah, and this right here is funny. ICE protester who lost his vision while attempting to stop an arrest in Minneapolis. Here we go.
Well, can you tell us about your injuries now and the prognosis? Will you be blind in that eye for life?
From what I've heard the doctors say and everyone else, yes, I will be.
He sounds exactly like I expected him to sound.
Blind for life. They said my globe was ruptured. I had my lower lid was cut up, and they had to take skin from my temple to fix it. There's a lot to it. I don't remember all the things that they said. I have fractures in my skull that they can't fix, and I can't sneeze or cough because it's dangerous too. I remember also when I shot, there was pepper in it, and I had pepper down my throat. It made it hard to breathe for a long time. They pulled a piece of plastic the size of a nickel out of my eye. They said I had shards of metal, glass, and plastic all throughout my eye and behind my eye and in my skull. And they also said that I had a piece of shrapnel metal about a few millimeters away from my carotid artery. And they said it was a miracle I survived, because if it got any closer, if it hit that, I would have died that night.
Aww.
Totally blind right now? You see nothing out of the eye?
Nothing out of the eye. Yeah, it's black.
If I wasn't on YouTube right now, I'd say a lot more. But I'll just say I don't have any sympathy for this person. But I will say this is according to Breaking 911, this is the video in question. You know, if you just would have been at home playing video games or jerking off like a normal dude, you wouldn't have been in this position. So nobody has sympathy for you. Nobody. Yeah, some of you are saying that's LA. So I don't know. That's the follow-up video that Breaking 911 dropped below this one. That did look like him. So, but either way, zero sympathy for this loser. Zero. Let's see here. Dude is stretching it. I'm sure this dude has had it stretched quite a few times. His buddy Tyrone's going to be very happy when he sees him in prison again. And by the way, that's not a racist joke. That's just based on statistics. Statistically speaking, there will be a few people named Tyrone in prison when this weirdo appears. I'm just basing that off of statistics, so you can't get mad at me, okay? Under any circumstance, you can't get mad at me. Let's see. Ehab says actual advice from a firefighter. During a riot, do not go below the first floor of a building in case they set it on fire. It's a good way to get trapped. That is a very good piece of advice. Thank you, brother. Ryan Miller says the media, the Democrats, and the left started this game, and now President Trump is going to give them a stupid prize by invoking the Insurrection Act. These people will cry, and we are not going to care. Listen, I hope he does invoke the Insurrection Act. I just don't think he will. Miniature Vron thinks says for one of two, says CNN made a massive mistake by interviewing Rena Good's ex-father-in-law. Apparently, he's a Trump supporter, was rational based on evidence, refused to condemn ICE, and literally quoted the Bible by saying, "For the wrath of God will come upon the children of disobedience," and then saying, "If she walked in the Spirit of God, I don't think she'd have been there." Oof, based. I did see where he is a Trump supporter, and he did not blame President Trump or anything like that. I haven't watched a lot of it, but I did hear about that. I know somebody said they sent me a clip of it. Chris for 10 says, sucks to be they, them. Don't show up and I bet you still have your eye. JDT199 says, hear me out. Wild Texas hogs, release them. Sit back and watch. Let's see. Jay Lucian, did I say that right? Farrell, effed around, ruined your life. Thank you. Back up to the top here. Richard Simmons says, Jeremiah, I need your camera so I can finish. Okay. Daniel Moore says, the TVA got him. Philip says, are people over Candace's BS now? I saw where she went from like a top 5 podcast to like, she's now like, she's dropped like 40 or 50 positions. It's going to go away pretty quickly for her. But listen, man, she got her grift. Credit where credit's due. I'm not hating. Congratulations to her. Daniel Moore says, if I could turning point back time. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot says, if it was between you and Matt Morse tonight over there, I'm well behaved. I had to come here where I can shit post and run my face with fellow IDOTs. You're welcome. And I am appreciative of that. Lying Dog Face Pony Soldier with a get the membership. Boomer Sooner says, damn it. We started look at Valiant's Sweeney post. Listen, I've got a lot of Sweeney posts from yesterday bookmarked. I don't know if I should play some of that on here because the YouTube, the AI bot is pretty aggressive on stuff like that, dude. So, yeah. We'll see. Don't get me like I don't need to be looking at that right now. I got to focus. All right. I got to focus right here. Apparently, Governor Gavin Newsom appears to have no clue. Of course, my audio, I just lost audio share. So hang on. God dang it. Let's see here. I got to reshare my screen. I'm having all type of problems tonight. Okay. Now let me know if you can hear this. Gavin Newsom appears to have no clue. His press office account on X is posting, agrees with Ben Shapiro that labeling ICE as state-sponsored terrorism is wrong. So Gavin Newsom apparently doesn't even know about his press office Twitter account.
One was a narrative that was immediately pushed by the Trump administration and Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem that she was a domestic terrorist who was attempting to run over officers with her car and was legitimately trying, not just this officer, but multiple officers. That was the original statement. I said at the time, I thought that was untrue. And then your press office tweeted out that it was state-sponsored terrorism, which, I mean, Governor, I do have to ask you about that. Yeah. That sort of thing makes our politics worse.
Yeah.
And it does.
Yeah.
I mean, our ICE officers obviously are not terrorists.
Yeah.
A tragic situation is not state-sponsored terrorism.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I mean, one was.
So when did this happen? When did Ben Shapiro sit down with Gavin Newsom? I saw this clip going around. I'm like, when the fuck did this happen? Interesting. Huh. So I had no idea that they even talked. I will say, I find Ben Shapiro's politics horrible. I hate listening to his political opinion. However, I do like Ben Shapiro's pop culture takes for the most part. It's weird. Whereas Jack Posobiec, I like his political opinions for the most part. but I hate his pop culture takes. I don't know. But either way, that's Gavin Newsom is not just agreeing as much as he's just not combating what Ben is saying. So that's the first time I've heard that. I'm very interested, though, to know when this podcast happened. I don't know. Very weird. Let's see here. Israel.gov for $10 for the Israel.gov account. You must be fake. I know you got more money than that. Did you know there is no penalty for not releasing the Epstein docs under the nearly unanimous Epstein files law? Isn't that weird? A near unanimous bipartisan vote that isn't even a misdemeanor. I'm more concerned with why did you only send me $10? The fuck? The hell are you talking about? It's supposed to be $7,000. So I'll answer your question when I get paid. Until then, go fuck yourself. Okay? Voldemort 199 says, Israel is behind the revolution in Iran and Trump is going along with it. Very sad. I'm done with MAGA until he stops shilling for the Jews. Okay. Enjoy watching Candace. Bibby says, I got a $5 credit from AT&T outages last year. $20 is a win. Hail Verizon. It's look, I mean, I like Verizon. I've been with them forever. I just thought it's better to just not say anything. Greg Kirby says, bro, if you had to pick between Call of Duty OG or Fortnite, what would you pick and who'd you cast? Live or Dead? If I had to pick between, you mean OG Call of Duty or Fortnite? Like in general? That's a layered question, man, because like Modern Warfare and Black Ops can't be matched. So if those are my picks, I'm picking OG Modern Warfare and OG Black Ops. You just can't compete with those games. And you'll never, like in my lifetime, I think I'm never going to experience another kind of era like that with gaming, with the friend group I had and all of that. It's never going to be like that. Obviously, I do love Fortnite. Fortnite's great, but nothing competes with like the golden age of, Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. Nothing competes with that. Nothing's even close. Let's see here. W. Porter says, donating my part of my Verizon $20 because Cobra Cast is the main reason I pay for internet. Hey, I appreciate that. That's really nice. That's really nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. John Freaking Murdoch for 50 says, hey, Jeremy, I'm a little short, so I'll pay $7,000 in installments. $69.50 to go. Hail IDOTS. Hail 199. Mod Lives Matter. Chat Lives Matter. Happy Jessica. Hail to you, John. I'll give you a pass. We're okay for now. We're okay. I'll allow you to make payments. I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is this clown named Moist Critical, because he had a very, very, actually, I take back calling him a clown. I actually don't hate Charlie. I actually like Moist Critical for the most part. I do. I like Moist Critical. I know he's safe. I know he has very safe takes. But I saw this clip from Yeet right here, and Moist Critical shares his thoughts on the Renee Good situation. And just listen to what Moist Critical says right here, because let's just listen first of all. Okay, here we go.
You speak on Renee Good? You mean like in a video or in general? Because that shit is horrible. I still can't believe that anyone thinks that was defensible action from ICE. But as for a video, I'm not sure yet. I was going to do like a bigger one, but I just haven't yet. Of course, Charlie is a lib. It is incredible how someone can watch a video and depending on like their political brain, they'll see two different things. An ICE agent putting himself in front of a vehicle, and then when the vehicle starts moving, putting himself in front of the vehicle, like the least smart thing ever. That is like the anti-protocol.
Oh my God. Oh my God. He said the ICE agent put himself in front of the vehicle. The ICE agent was documenting a situation where a woman was actively blocking traffic to disrupt ICE agents. She was being ordered to get out of her car. And in the moment that ICE agents reached to her door handle after she refused to exit the vehicle, her wife, her general contractor lesbian wife, said, "Drive, baby, drive." She hit the gas. She ran into the ICE officer. He responded by opening fire in self-defense.
And when the vehicle moves and turns to the right, just immediately starts blowing.
The vehicle moves. He said, when the vehicle moves. Charlie, how the fuck did the vehicle move? When the vehicle moves? How did the vehicle move? When the vehicle moves, guys.
ICE agent putting himself in front of a vehicle, and when the vehicle starts moving, putting himself in front of the vehicle, like the least smart thing ever. That is like the anti-protocol.
Holy
and when the vehicle
shit.
moves and turns to the right, just immediately starts blasting, then it's like, yep, justified. I don't know how anyone watches that and think that that's fine.
Did I make up GCL? I don't know if I made it up. I think at least, I'm not saying that other people didn't say it. I used to work for Home Depot a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And when these lesbians would come into the store with their, contractor boots and all of that shit, I'm like, general contractor lesbians. So it's just something like, me and the guys at the store would always reference it, because back in the day, and I don't know if it's much different now, but like, sadly, back in the day, we didn't get a ton of hot women showing up to the Home Depot. Like occasionally there would be, a wife with a husband, but you couldn't gawk at the chick with the husband there because typically the husband's a badass. He's there to, do work. And so we can't just gawk at the chick. At a grocery store, you got a lot of hot women coming in there. In Home Depot, it's not like the super hot mom is just walking around the store shopping for nails and skill saws. So usually the type of women that would show up to the Home Depot were very unattractive general contractor lesbians.
In a sane society. Because it was justified. Whatever, brother. You got a crazy set of eyes on you, man. Pre-order the Trump phone. That shit's unhinged. I'll tell you, if this happened on Joe Biden's watch, it would be a very different tune right now. If an American citizen got gunned down in her fucking car because the agent put himself in front of the vehicle in the first place, I tell you, I think you'd be singing a different tune.
Charlie, I saw where Tectone disagrees with Moist Critical's take about the Renee Good situation. Quote, "You're smarter than this." I disagree, Tectone. Charlie is not smarter than this. Charlie is not smarter than this in any way, shape, or form. He is not smarter than this. Okay? He's just not. Good Lord. It has nothing to do with who the president is in that respect. It has to do with the narrative that can be built around it. There was a man, many of you may or may not know his name. There was a man named Tony Timpa. Anybody know the name Tony Timpa? Look up what happened to Tony Timpa. No outrage, no burning cities to the ground. No riots. Nobody was storming the Bass Pro Shops, But Moist Critical thinks that if Joe Biden was president, there'd be a whole different tune about an American citizen being gunned down.
Dumb situation, but maybe don't drive at police officers. Again, brother, you're surrounded by masked dudes giving you a bunch of different conflicting things. It's a stressful situation. People panic. It's normal. What you're not supposed to do as an officer is fucking put yourself in front of the vehicle in the first place. That is entirely on him.
Good Lord. This is equal to his supporting of trans kids take that he had. You remember when he had this whole, he supported transing kids and he got absolutely annihilated on the internet for it. And then he kind of stopped streaming because he was getting so much hate. That's where we are now.
Yeah, it's not the smartest thing to like drive away from a scene or anything, but people panic. It's extremely normal. Happens every day. A trained agent shouldn't be putting himself in front of that car to begin with.
So it's
awesome politics on the line. I don't view it as political. I don't know.
Holy fuck.
I don't view that thing as political. I feel like it's just basic common sense when you watch that video. How many police stops do you see of a police officer then getting in front of the vehicle with his own body, with the suspect still behind the wheel of the car? Probably close to zero. Do you know why?
So it's the cop's fault that the person tried to run him over. It's the cop's fault. It's the cop's fault that the woman tried to run him over. That, you know what that argument is? She was asking for it. Charlie's got the she was asking for it argument. Oh, woman got raped? Well, she was asking for it.
Why? Because it's not real protocol. You gotta be a fucking moron to do that. And yeah, again, driving away, not the smartest thing in the world, but it's very natural for people to panic in a high-stress situation with a bunch of masked dudes surrounding you and shouting and shit at you. Like, it happens. You should never put yourself in front of that car to begin with. You gotta be a fucking idiot. It's not justified to put yourself in danger and then execute the person when they panic. We used to watch those goofy police videos from bumfuck nowhere, and even they would know what to do. Yeah, because there's standard protocol and there's common sense. Nowhere are you taught to get in front of a vehicle of a suspect and like try and block it with your fucking hand like you're using the force or something.
Hey, it's your fault for getting in front of the gun. I mean, what are you doing getting in front of the criminal with the gun? It's your fault. Like, why would you get in front of a criminal with a gun? Why would you do that? In fact, as a police officer, why are you even interacting with a criminal? What are you doing there? What's your business there? Why are you interacting with a criminal as a police officer? That's not common protocol for the police officer to be interacting with the criminal. Maybe next time, maybe the cops should stay at home. Okay? Maybe they should just let the criminals run loose. How dare the police show up to a situation that they were already involved in, by the way. She was blocking traffic to block them. God. That is an insane take. I responded. Expected cowardly response from a dude with no real opinion on anything. And I agree completely with that. There's Salty Cracker. Hail, Salty Cracker. That's an unbelievable take. Charlie's Leering Center for Law Non-Enforcement, says Dan Campbell. Somebody make that. Charlie's Leering Center for Law Non-Enforcement. That is amazing. So yeah, going back to Tectone, I like Tectone. I disagree with Tectone. Charlie's not smarter than this at all. Clearly, he's not. Leftism is a disease, and yeah, Charlie definitely has it. He definitely has it. Real quick, hold on. Look at here. Breaking. Tom Homan is meeting with President Trump tomorrow on invoking the Insurrection Act in Minneapolis. This could be huge.
Is it time for the Insurrection Act, or would that just add gasoline to the fire?
I'm not going to get ahead of the president on that, but it's certainly an option, a viable option. So actually, I'll be meeting with the president tomorrow. So, you know, I think it's something that needs to be on the table because this cannot continue. There is going to be more bloodshed. I'm telling you. I hope I'm wrong, but I haven't been yet. There's going to be more bloodshed if something hasn't done.
It's going to spread, and most Minnesotans, by the way, and I want to say this tonight because folks have reached out to me, support ICE. It's this radical group of anarchists.
Very much.
And when
very
you
true.
see them
Very
close
true.
up, you really get a sense of who they are. It's this crowd, a lot of them paid, a lot of them working, double shifts of protest against the rest of the state, which are reasonable, common sense, peaceful people of all backgrounds, including immigrant backgrounds. They don't like what's happened in the Twin Cities, and we're going to expose more about Jacob Fry in a moment. But Tom, I think most people are good people. They want the bad people out, and they want some peace in their neighborhoods.
Well, hang on. Let's let him finish.
And we're going to get the bad people out. And as far as the organization, everybody that's planning these protests, giving these people weapons and funding this, again, justice is coming because we're deep diving that whole thing.
All right. Well, let's hope. Let's hope that something comes of that because we certainly need it. Let's see here. Enjoy. CNN aired a compilation of ICE agents stopping leftists from impeding law enforcement. I dedicate this to Moist Critical right here.
What you just saw was a federal immigration agent pushing an unidentified protester into oncoming traffic after appearing to block their vehicle.
They just fired off a tear gas canister.
And here, another violent clash between Border Patrol agents and an anti-ICE protester who appeared to swat an agent's hand away while recording an immigration enforcement operation. These moves coming on the heels of an explosive week for ICE. Their aggressive tactics only seem to be escalating. Last week, tensions between ICE and protesters erupted when a woman in Minneapolis was shot and killed by an ICE agent. DHS officials claimed the shooting was self-defense. Despite the nationwide scrutiny, ICE doesn't appear to be slowing down.
They should.
Raising questions by some police use of force experts whether the tactics of agents in handling both suspects and activists are inflaming an already volatile situation.
If they conduct violent activities against law enforcement, if they impede our operations, that's a crime, and we will hold them accountable to those consequences.
Social media has been flooded with an onslaught of videos showcasing the rising tensions between ICE and protesters in Minneapolis. The killing of Renee Good wasn't the start of these aggressive tactics. It was more of a tipping point. In August of 2025,
Listen, I know you're not supposed to play adult content on YouTube, but I'm pretty turned on right now watching all this. So, yeah, this is good stuff.
State officials released a video of two federal officers slamming a protester to the ground outside an ICE facility. DHS says it was a targeted arrest of a dangerous rioter who had previously assaulted law enforcement. In September, officers shot pepper balls from the rooftop of an ICE facility down at a protest in Illinois, hitting a pastor. DHS released a statement saying that the agitators ignored verbal warnings and were impeding operations by blocking an ICE vehicle from leaving the facility, a claim the pastor has denied. About a month later, an officer repeatedly strikes a person in the head during an arrest. DHS said a hostile crowd surrounded agents, verbally abusing them and spitting on them. Pepper spray was deployed to deter the agitator and disperse the crowd. It is a crime to interfere with the actions of immigration agents, and efforts to block their work have been documented on video. But police experts say that when possible, de-escalation is always preferred.
Making an arrest in a large crowd can sometimes be problematic, as opposed to identifying that person and maybe making an arrest later on when you're not enraging the rest of the crowd. When emotions are high, rational thinking is low. And so sometimes you have to really slow things down, take a step back, communicate.
You love to see it. It's beautiful. So Tim Walz earlier made a direct appeal to the president. Let's turn the temperature down. Stop this campaign of retribution. This is not who we are. An appeal to Minnesotans. I know this is scary. We must speak out loudly, urgently, but also peacefully. We cannot fan the flames of chaos. That's what he wants. You piece of shit. Last night, you urged people to continue to document everything. You are essentially saying that ICE officers are criminals. You have made this. This is your mess. Now, White House responds to Tim Walz's direct appeal.
The White House has now responded. Tim Walz, Jacob Fry, and Democrat leaders in Minnesota have done nothing but turn up the temperature, smear heroic ICE officers, and incite violence against them, all in the defense of criminal illegal aliens. In Minnesota, ICE has arrested rapists, drug traffickers, domestic abusers, and more, despite the Democratic opposition. The Trump administration will protect the American people and enforce the law without apology. Quick response. A lot to say. Your reaction. First reaction here on the Faulkner Focus. Clay Travis.
They're 100% right. And Harris, you remember this. In 2020, when we demonized police, what happened? Murder skyrocketed across the entire country, and we didn't let good law enforcement officers do their job. Now, Minnesota, Fry, Walz, they are deciding to demonize ICE officers. They're making them targets, and they are going to increase the overall level of violence in this country. I think President Trump has to step up aggressively, say, we're not going to do this. Remember what happened in L.A.? He sent in all the forces, and everything stopped in L.A. We got to do it in Minneapolis, too. It's out of control.
So there you have it. So the White House responds. It's a beautiful thing. Fuck Tim Walz. He's a piece of shit. Hey, we got Beanie Boy appearing on Fox News right now. Jesse Waters says, Tim Pool says Minneapolis is no longer a riot. It's turned into terrorism.
It seems like they want some sort of civil fracture, Tim. Do they?
It seems so. Now, I don't want to say at the highest levels Democrat politicians want to foment civil war, as I often talk about, but they're beholden to their constituents. So we have a mayor suggesting the police should now be fighting federal agents, which is horrifying. But it's actually quite simple. ICE agents are out on the ground across the country because I asked them to be, because you asked them to be, because the American voter said immigration is a top issue for us. We want Republicans in office. We want Donald Trump in office, and we want this problem solved once and for all. So what are we seeing? Violent extremists who oppose our democracy and the will of the people. That video you showed where they put the tow rope and rip out the weapons locker, that's not the only one. There were other vehicles they ransacked. There's a video purporting to show a man stealing what appears to be a rifle from a...
To his point, right here, watch the Minneapolis police chief's reaction to Mayor Fry saying he wants cops to fight ICE agents in the streets.
And we're in a position right now where we have residents that are asking the very limited number of police officers that we have to fight ICE agents on the street, to stand by their neighbors.
That's it.
That we have to fight ICE agents on the street, to stand.
He's like, what? What?
To fight ICE agents on the street, to stand by their neighbors. We cannot be at a place right now in America where we have two governmental entities that are literally fighting one another. Why are we put in this position? We're put in this position because we have approximately 600 police officers in Minneapolis, far fewer that are able to work at any given time. And there are approximately 3,000 ICE agents in the area. 3,000. And we're in a position right now where we have.
So again, this guy's completely unhinged, but that was the point that Tim had mentioned that. And I just wanted to show that did happen.
Federal vehicle and ammunition, as well as patches, tourniquets, and other objects. This is not a protest. This is not a riot. These are political extremists, and it's overt terror. I'll tell you when it upgrades to terror, when these people are reading the names of the agents on camera, which they did after they ransacked the vehicle, after they leaked their names, and apparently went and found their private vehicles. So we're at a whole new level. And Jesse, I used to go on the ground all the time. I covered tons of these protests. I've been personally attacked and assaulted by many of these extremists. I have never seen this level of extremism. I mean, we've seen fire bombs, we've seen broken windows, but to ransack federal vehicles and steal their weapons.
It's pretty crazy.
Let me say this
pretty freaking crazy
about what happened to Renee Good. You may have seen the video immediately following the moment where she dies. And it's tragic. I wish it didn't happen. But you hear her lover say,
it is, I will agree. It is extremely tragic that ICE officer got hit by a criminal that was trying to kill him. It's very tragic that ICE officer got hit. I agree.
Say, why were you using real bullets? There's two different people here. There's two different groups. You've got your political extremists, and they radicalize your liberal ICE mom, your run-of-the-mill suburban mom who doesn't really understand what they're being asked to do. And these women, they've gone out to your protest where they wiggled their little flags and their signs, and they said, this policy is bad and that policy is bad. This is something different. The extremists are advocating that these middle-aged women show up to federal law enforcement operations where armed federal agents are seeking out criminal cartels, murderers, rapists, child traffickers. And they're wondering why these ICE agents are apprehensive and armed with lethal munitions. They're not prepared for this, and I fear it will get worse.
And to his point,
it seems like they want.
To his point, rioters are attempting to break down the fence outside the Minneapolis ICE facility. But another rioter jumped in and said, we don't have the numbers yet. This is why the Insurrection Act must be invoked now before it's too late.
So they saw the stuff.
Oh shit, they're coming deep. Oh fuck. The gate's open. Oh shit. They destroyed lives, dude. It comes really easily for a white dude to say that he's a piece.
These people are insane, man. They're absolutely insane. It's unbelievable. Good Lord. Zinni Business heard Greg Biffle's home was broken into and had guns and money taken. Yes, I covered that yesterday. It's absolutely horrible. Cannot believe that. Mar Millen says, sending you only $10 sounds very Jewish to me. Let's see. Thank you, Mar Millen. Saturn Dreaming of Mercury says, and the bullet moved. Ronald Carpenter says, don't normally watch live, but VOD while on patrol keeps me awake and alert. So thank you. I was thinking of a shirt to make, would be pink shirt that says it's red. Well, first of all, I'm happy you're here during the live stream. And I'm glad you're enjoying the VODs as well. But yeah, thank you so much. You should absolutely do that. You should absolutely do that shirt. Marmilla says, I love how people just ignore the fact that she was detained. If this was a Biden or Obama, you are detained and you try to run away. Sorry, not sorry. You earned whatever happens. She earned it. She basically walked up to McDonald's when Donald Trump was working. She says, hello, sir. I'm looking for an FAFO. And Donald Trump served it up to her. Perfectly said. And he started selling the shirts that Jimmy Kimmel had made for him. And so it's a win-win. So Trump's like, hey, well, might as well sell these shirts, make some money. Slain Hope says, Tim Walz is arming the thugs who fight his police. Cornboy with a 199 super sticker. VJ the Vigilant says, Joyd Floyd tax. Phil says, can CNN get one attractive woman on air? Suggin says, Geoid Floyd tax. Net Steeler says, anyone else suffering from gang member fatigue? Be Good Broadcast says, DM'd you a clip on X of Renee Good's dad on CNN having an incredibly based dad moment. CNN was not pleased. Let me see if I can find that. Let me go to my DMs. I do want to watch that clip. I haven't watched that clip in its entirety. So let me go and be into my requests maybe. If Twitter wants to work for me right now, or X. I know everybody's like, oh, it's not X, Jeremy. Yep, here it is right here. I think this is it. Except, okay, here we go right here. Renee Good's former father-in-law tells CNN he does not blame ICE for the death, and says that she would not have been there if she were walking in the spirit of God. Not what CNN wanted to hear.
Ask you. I want to ask you about this. When you talk about the confusion, and you've been open, obviously, about your support for the president, when you look at the videos of what happened, and I'm sure they're very hard for you, Timmy, to watch if you've even been able to. But the Deputy Attorney General says that the Justice Department doesn't believe that there's evidence to back a criminal investigation, right? And nothing about charges or anything like that, just an investigation into what happened in terms of the ICE agents' actions. But they were, according to the prosecutors resigning today, pressuring them to investigate Renee's actions and Becca, her wife's actions. How do you feel about all that?
Well, I'm not blaming anybody. I mean, it's a hard situation all the way around. It's hard for for everybody involved. I mean, the ICE agent, at first I didn't see the footage where, he was actually, he was actually being ran. I mean, I seen the bump of the car hitting his legs. And so in a flash like that, it's hard to say how you would react. From my understanding that he had been through that before, maybe dragged or something. And so, like I said, it's just a hard situation for everybody. Becca, she's a great person.
She is not happy. She is not. She's giving that, can I speak to the manager look right now. That is a, may I speak to the manager right fucking now.
As well. I mean, I don't have any many enemies. I love everybody. And that's what the Bible tells us, love our neighbors as we love ourselves. But, I think there's some bad choices. And the word says, for the wrath of God will come up on the children of disobedience. And, it's I don't blame ICE. I don't blame Rebecca. I don't blame Renee. I just wish that, if we're walking the spirit of God, I don't think she would have been there.
I will give her credit that CNN's definitely diversifying their talent, having an Asian woman on here. So I got to give them credit for that. We often say like, well, they don't practice what they preach, but they have an Asian woman. Oh, never mind. Wait. Oh, she's just, my bad. Sorry. We'll cut that one out in post. Sorry about that. Sorry.
That's the way I look at it.
So,
yeah, sorry. I didn't know. I just thought it was X-Ray Girl. Sorry about that. So yeah, we'll cut that one out in post. Didn't realize she was not actually Asian. She was just squinting her eyes in disgust at the Christian father-in-law who did not tell her what she wanted to hear. She was very, very upset. She was very, very angry with him. Okay, where are we at? Ban Nielsen says, I'm afraid that I will take the deletion of an ICE agent. It will take a deletion of an ICE agent to use the Insurrection Act. Let's hope not. Let's see. Daniel Moore Business says, why did they let him live? Zeke says, soy boy FAFO with ICE also arrest Walls. Mod Eric says he is lucky they were using less than lethal. This idiot attacked officers. Why is he not in jail now? I agree. He should be in jail. We're talking about the guy that assaulted ICE officers earlier that was crying that he's blind now. The Sean 2 says, this reminds me of the Kyle Rittenhouse shot the dude his arm after he was being chased. Kremlin says, what do you tell a they them that has a black eye? Don't know if I want to know. Saratoga says, for 20s is not to dismiss the current stupidity out there, but I haven't heard or seen anything about destructive riots as severe as those in 2020 or in LA in the last year. If more is done now to combat this, why not then? Well, I get what you're saying. I guess it's like, and this is like, I think this is a real legit criticism of Trump's first term, that he should have done more to stop the summer of love. Now, again, I understand his perspective on it too, is like, look, he can offer, the Democratic leadership doesn't have to take his offer. He offers it. He says, hey, we can send anything you need right now. And the Democratic leadership is automatically going to reject any help from President Trump, because of course they are. And so, but, you know, it's, you are elected to, you know, make sure that the citizens of this country are not being overrun with crime. And so I think he could have done more to limit what happened in the Summer of Love. The Summer of Love was just an awful disaster. But what you want to do here is to hopefully avoid this becoming another Summer of Love. I don't think we're there yet, but I'm hoping that something will happen in order to keep it from getting to that level. So what is this right here? So right here, sources say that $700 million in cash was flown out of Minneapolis airport in 2 years.
Shirley's back on the ground in Minnesota, and not everyone's excited.
Get out.
Sir, I'm just asking a simple question.
Get out. No, you don't ask me other question. Get out.
You have the opportunity to answer the question.
What? Did you go to Quality Leering Center? Because I can't understand anything you're saying.
No. You can't ask me nothing. Get out. Get out of this, man. Get out. Get out, man. Get out.
Sir,
get out.
just answer the question.
No.
Just answer
Get
the
out.
question.
No, get out. Leave.
Sir, just answer the simple question.
Hey, don't touch me. You touch me. You're YouTube, man. Get out.
Calm down. You're not being accused of fraud. Shirley's just asking questions. It's not just daycares we're worried about. Primetime's digging into something even bigger. Hundreds of millions of dollars quietly moving through Minneapolis, heading straight to the Middle East. Homeland Security sources tell Primetime $700 million in cash was flown out of the Minneapolis airport in just the last 2 years, stuffed into luggage. That's 100 times more cash than what was moved out of JFK, Atlanta, and Dallas. To put it into perspective, Atlanta is the busiest airport in the United States. Minneapolis, 17th.
That's
with
crazy.
A quarter of the flights.
I often forget that Atlanta is the busiest airport in the U.S. It may be the busiest airport in the world, but it's shocking to me that if you've ever been to Atlanta, it is a absolute nightmare to drive in Atlanta. I mean, if you miss one exit, it will cost you 3 fucking hours. It is a disaster to drive in Atlanta. I hate it.
Yet 100 times the cash is leaving the country. And it's not just Minneapolis. Investigators following the money trail backward, and they found another hub in Columbus, Ohio. Officers tracked $136 million in cash leaving the Columbus airport in 2023 alone. You know who lives in Columbus? Somalis. Lots of them.
Mm-hmm.
They have the second largest Somalian community in America, second to Minneapolis, of course. Interesting coincidence. But this isn't anything new. Agents have been tracking this as far back as 2017.
It's the morning of March 15th. We're chasing a tip about a man who's leaving the country. Our sources tell us he just took a carry-on bag through security that was packed with $1 million cash. You can do that as long as you fill out one of these government forms. We're told these cloak and dagger-like scenarios now happen almost weekly at MSP International. In 2015, investigators documented $14 million in carry-on cash. By 2016, it had mushroomed to $84 million, and then last year, $100 million.
So where's the cash headed? It could be going to terrorists.
Kearns tracked millions of dollars in cash that was leaving on flights from Seattle. It was coming from hawalas, businesses used to courier money to countries that have no official banking system. Some immigrant communities rely on hawalas to send funds to help impoverished relatives back home. Kearns discovered some of the money was being funneled to a hawala in a region of Somalia that's controlled by the Al-Shabaab terrorist group.
So I talked to a couple sources, and
Dude, things are so screwed up in this country. And it goes, it's such a deep level. It's like a disease that the easiest way to explain it is it's like a human body with a disease. And the disease is so deep and infected that, yeah, you can cut it out at the surface and make it appear that you've done something. But unless you are willing to get into the depths of hell and clean it out at the core, you're not going to eliminate it. It's just going to continue to slowly regrow back.
who had lived in that region. And I said, if money is going to this hawala, do you think it's going to Al-Shabaab? And he said, oh, definitely. That area is controlled by Al-Shabaab, and they control the hawala there.
Money's been flying out of Minneapolis for years. Fozia Ali pled guilty to daycare fraud in 2018, and the money she stole went international.
The business was suspected of billing the government for over $1 million worth of bogus child care services.
Did any of the money go overseas?
We are aware.
Like, let me remind everybody, and it's not that, everybody here in the chat, you don't need reminding, but reminding just in general. The only reason that this story is being talked about on a mainstream level is because and I mean no disrespect by it, I'm trying to put it in context, a random YouTuber by the name of Nick Shirley decided to investigate it. That's why.
That some of the funds went overseas, which she was cashing out money from the business.
She'd taken a 2-month trip from Minnesota to Dubai and then Kenya, staying at times in $800 a night hotel rooms. She used an app on her phone to bill the state of Minnesota for childcare services while she was out of the country.
Minnesota's had a dirty little secret for decades, and now the whole world knows.
If they had $700 million to send back to Somalia, if that's true, where's that coming from?
By the way, big shout out to Joe Rogan for having a lesbian on his show. I don't know the lesbian's name right here, but shout out to Rogan for having this lesbian on there. Very inclusive podcast. Joe Rogan gets accused of being an alt-right Nazi all the time. Joe Rogan's got a lesbian on his show. Give him some credit, all right?
Insane amount of money
It
to
is.
send back to Somalia.
But this is also the gall. You're stealing welfare money and you're taking it out of the country, and you are so in the belief that you won't get caught. You're not smuggling it out. You're putting on the form, I'm taking $20 million out of the country.
They've been doing it for decades. And this is, I mean, when did we start mass immigrating people from Somalia into this country?
$700 million from here to there. No arrests, no charges. Has there ever even been an investigation? Tampon's more focused on protecting bad hombres than taxpayers.
Look,
if terrorists get their hands on that money and target American soldiers, the blood's on Timmy's hands. He doesn't want anybody recording Somali fraud.
Of course
he wants
doesn't.
you to record ICE. Who's trying to stop it? That's suspicious and makes me think Tampon could be in on it. Can he be that dumb?
Look, I'm not the first person that has said anything disrespectful about Rand Paul. I'm not the first, okay? There's a young, vibrant man once upon a time that also had some things to say about Rand Paul. Here we go.
Well, Rand Paul shouldn't even be on this stage. He's number 11. He's got 1% in the polls, and how he got up here, there's far too many people. Anyway,
Do we want someone with that kind of character, that kind of careless language to be negotiating with Putin? Do we want someone like that to be negotiating with Iran? I think really there's a sophomore quality that is entertaining.
Trump is sizing him up right now. He's just sizing him up.
About Mr. Trump. But I am worried. I'm very concerned about him having him in charge of the nuclear weapons, because I think his response, his visceral response to attack people on their appearance, short, tall, fat, ugly. My goodness, that happened in junior high. Are we not way above that? Would we not all be worried to have someone like that in charge of the nuclear arsenal?
Mr. Trump.
I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there.
It's just so fucking savage, dude. God. It's absolute steamrolls him, dude. Look at Rand Paul's face. He's got nothing. Holy shit. Okay. We will never have another president. No, not at all. Not like him. Not like him. All right, so hang on. I've got hang on. There was a video that I wanted to show you that was happening while we were watching the Jesse Waters. This is a follow-up. So right here, anti-ICE rioters have now seized control of the road outside of ICE Minneapolis, blocking vehicles. It's almost like we've heard that one before, huh?
Here come the toy soldiers. I can make those noises too. Like, stop trying to make that shot. Oh, careful.
That's what a Nazi would say.
Not a Nazi.
Jesus, man, these people are completely unhinged. So apparently this is a live feed of it going on right now. Audio's pretty low right now. Let me see if I can find a better feed of this right now. Let's see. Minneapolis, let's see. Okay, there's this one. So we got multiple feeds here.
You have a choice. You don't have to be this. You don't have to do this. You don't have to be this.
I've been raided by the DEA before. When I was a kid, they kicked in my door for my mom's boyfriend before.
What is this commentary?
I've been in a couple of raids in my day, so I know what to expect. Just hopefully they don't shoot me. Hopefully they don't shoot me. Hopefully they walk me out in the cuffs. That'll be good. Hopefully they don't shoot me. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
He's standing on the curb and he's barely taller than the guy next to him. That's only 2 inches. Yeah, I'm talking about.
Good Lord. He said my mom's boyfriend. The DEA kicked down our door because my mom's boyfriend. What? Zwani says Jeremy didn't know she was Asian tax. Didn't know she wasn't Asian tax. Thank you, Zwani. Hail to you. Billy over on Rumble says, how about when Obama was president? Anyone remember Miriam Carey back in the Obama days? Let's see. Moto Metal Racer says, well, they can only tell him one more time, I guess. Philip says the president must make a proclamation prior to invoking the act. They could have used foreskin to fix his eye, but he would look cockeyed. Slain Hope says Trump is a lion in foreign affairs and declawed, defanged cat domestically. You can't brag about enforcing existing laws with their spit on your face. I mean, ultimately, he is definitely a lot more. He's got a lot more limitations domestically because of the Democratic judges. I mean, again, name the red state where Trump has issues. I'm just saying, like, name it. Name the red state where Trump has issues getting anything done. It's not a Trump issue. It's a left-wing judge, left-wing leadership issue. So, you know, I mean, if you want to blame Trump for it, I guess that's fine, but you're admitting that you don't fully understand what the way that the system in America works. It's really that simple. So, I mean, I live in Florida. If something like this happens in Florida, do you know who's going to handle it? DeSantis is going to handle it. Trump's not even going to have to worry about it. It's all a matter of leadership and who are your elected officials. And this is why many people miss it. I miss it too. So I'm not going to act like I'm not part of the problem as well. But like a lot of us at our local election level completely we don't pay attention to it because it's not the sexy picks. It's not the attractive thing. It's not the thing people are talking about. But at the core level, your local elections are far more important than the national stuff. And we all overlook it, including me. So.
Your hands cold, big boy! We're big strong men.
I smell weed. You got any weed smokers in the chat? Any weed smokers? Any weed smokers? Donald Trump, he declassified weed.
What is this commentary? What the fuck? That's what I can't stand about like these motherfuckers. Like people that live their life on like, oh, are you a weed smoker? Like, who fucking cares? That's what identifies your entire fucking existence? Fucking retard. Ronald Carpenter says, as a police officer, and I hear people talk about how police officers, as a police officer and hear people talk about how officers should work a traffic stop without having done one before, my brothers and sisters in blue will agree with me. No routine stop. Yeah, I love how Moist Critical was basically telling you what the standard operating procedure was for a police officer. That was funny. Let's see here. MAGA Mike says, did y'all see the no face on the Minneapolis police chief when the mayor said people are calling for police to fight ICE in the street? Yeah, well, that was earlier you sent that, but yeah, we've obviously just reacted to it. Let's see. Israel.gov says, check your offshore bank. You know the arrangement. Also, Minnesota rioters, it's all fun and games until. I don't have a fucking offshore bank. Is this why I haven't been getting my $7,000 checks? Greg Kirby says, yes, but who would you cast if making a COD movie? Oh, who would I cast? I'd have to think about that one in terms of like breaking that down. I mean, most of the stars that I would think of casting have gotten too old, you know, the people that are your go-tos, whether it's, you know, Stallone or, you know, Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt or something like that, Keanu Reeves. Like, I'd have to think about it. Chris Pratt was great in, what was the show on Amazon? Somebody say it in the chat and I'll remember it. But the go-to answer these days is Henry Cavill. You know, Henry Cavill would be fantastic in a Call of Duty movie. But Christian Bale is Captain Price. Christian Bale can play anything. Terminal List. Yes, Terminal List is phenomenal. Daniel Moore Business says he did the she shouldn't have dressed that way. Yeah, that's what Charlie did. Let me hear what's going on real quick.
I think the children of the American people, children at school are asking, and they're afraid of their kids, friends, dads, and moms, and their friends, children.
God. Slay Hope says pedestrians have the right away. That's the law. Olympian Product says, glad to see Kathleen Kennedy out at Lucasfilm. I heard she'll be working at nights at the Loves in Memphis. If you know, you know. Sith Lord Maga says, I'm old enough to remember when Democrats cheered ICE in full SWAT to deport Elaine Gonzalez when Clinton was in office. Graham Robbins says, per Charlie's logic, women put themselves in front of grapists. Heartbreak Zero says, are you telling me that Renee Good stepping on the gas on purpose wasn't her fault? Well, scissor me timbers. That's a new one. Bibby says, Jeremy, get this woman off screen. MAGA Mike says, I'm sure if the same scenario happened under Joe Biden, but it was a guy in a MAGA hat hitting an officer, Charlie would have a different response. He absolutely would. He absolutely would. Buster Nutsmash says, commentary on video is straight out of Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. Joe Biss says, what are we doing for the Royal Rumble? Real talk. I don't know because of commentary and stuff like that. I'm sorry, because of copyright and stuff like that. Gerard Armstrong says, if you're panicking in your car, hand over your driver's license. Gavin Freenun says, I try to be forgiving Christian man, but my God, tolerance is low for stupid people nowadays. Kind of had enough, really. You and me both.
Don't fuck with my child! Get the fuck out of our state! I swear to God! That's right! Keep fucking running! Coward! Coward!
All right, I need to go home.
Disturbing those neighbors. They hold large events all the time. We should roll our legs!
Oh, this is a fucking
I'm gonna roll the legs and roll the blood! Oh, they're clocking out!
Good Lord. Who wants to be involved in this shit, man? Who wants to be out there listening to this? This is hell on earth, man.
Right, everyone should come. Oh, what the fuck is this bullshit? Oh, it's the snowplow. It's a snowplow. They're trying to scoop us up. They're... What?
Break down the door! The door!
Minnesotans, I swear to God, if you keep on staying inside and not coming out here and supporting us, you're going to regret it. We all have something to lose. You guys aren't the only one. Don't make everybody else to do this. I don't care what you guys have. We all have shit to do. We all have shit to do.
If you don't agree with me, it's your fault and you're the problem. You have to do as I say.
The fucking hero in Minnesota. That's the community that needs to be on our fucking side. That isn't on our side. You'll give me a penny and the one that's abolished.
Good Lord. Awful. Mazza Soprano says, moist vagina missed the fact that she was there the whole day blocking ICE, disrupting their operations. What a loose soy a-hole. Mod Eric says, Jeremy is always comfortable surrounded by a bunch of masked dudes, but is usually in the room or van. MAGA Mike says, 99% of MAGA supports invoking the Insurrection Act. I agree. I do too. Matt Modalicious, so we can't splat people in our cars. What if they're cops? You're telling me that's illegal too? Legalize Pinkerton, says Modalicious. Loser Alter Ego says, to anyone who wants to trade, sell, or give away Minnesota because you don't like what you see on screen, go fuck yourself with the wire brush. Dems control with fraud. We need help, not dismissal. Well said. I respect that. FAAFO43 for 99 or for $9.99 and says nothing. Vault 90 or Vault 199 Gaming. I like your name. Mossad doesn't pay Jeremy. I do. Look at that. Look at that. I appreciate that. Okay, let's see where we're at. Let's hear what they're crying about now.
Took the light rail. This is the light rail.
What the fuck?
I ever took the light rail before?
MJ Jorgi says, where did I get my G.I. Joe Commander Cup? I got it as a Christmas gift. It's funny because I do love it, but it's The Rise of Cobra, which I'm not a fan of that movie, but it's still badass. So yeah, so this is awesome though. So they know who they are. They're probably watching, but this is awesome. So, and I don't hate The Rise of Cobra as much as I used to. Time has been kind to that movie, not because the movie has gotten better. It's because the live action Snake Eyes movie exists and it's the worst thing I've ever seen. So I've always appreciated Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow in the live action G.I. Joe movies. Cobra Commander is a disaster in Rise of Cobra. And then Retaliation, I actually like Cobra Commander in that one, but those movies have a lot of problems. They have a lot of problems. But I do love the Cup.
Now, since they decided to beef
Laughing Man's keeping up too, by the way. John freaking Murdoch says, wait a second. I thought I paid Jeremy for 50. And then Laughing Man says, only 6,900 in install payments left. There we have it. By the way, my StreamYards is just not logging the super chats anymore. StreamYards is terrible tonight. It's awful. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I think I have to leave and come back. But I see them on my other screen, but I just can't highlight them because StreamYards sucks. MAGA Mike says, guys, Trump got Nobel Peace Prize. Massive tears incoming. He did. I'll talk about that here in just a minute. Jackson Cagle says, yup. Britty says, Steve Holt. Razataz says, I think Destro was on screen in Minneapolis. These protesters would cease altogether. Oh, I think if Destro was on screen, I agree. Operation Outstanding Infield says, I'm in a suburb of Minneapolis. Sent you a DM about my perspective of what's happening. You can read it live. Drew. What's up, Drew? Thank you. I'll check that out right now. Let's see what Drew has to say. Okay. Okay, so Drew just sent me a message, and he says, you asked about how widespread it is. I live in a suburb outside of Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Minneapolis are side by side, connected by the Mississippi River. Riots, protests have been going on day and night since this started in the Twin Cities. Average people here are sick of the idiot protesters and are avoiding the going on for business and entertainment. Politicians are encouraging the chaos in careful language. ICE operations are being done in both the Twin Cities and surrounding suburbs of about 40 miles away from an hour outside of Minneapolis, including my city. It's not as bad as social media, liberal media make it out to be, just like any police stop, DEA, or any other police operation that has happened many times before all over the country. They go in, get criminals, and leave. The only difference is the track ICE groups that are funded to follow them are from their HQ and record and hinder operations. Useful idiots with time and money to cosplay and LARP without knowing the consequences. Well said, Drew. I appreciate the update, brother. Let's see. Editor MG says, how much money does Jeremy get from George Soros? Not enough, considering how much I have to grift. So not enough. I wish it were more. So now we've got is this all these freaks do in Portland is dress up as fucking animals and hang out in this same area every night? It's crazy. This is all I see from these clowns in Portland. It's like all they do. Every time I watch one of these channels, they have this same location in Portland every night. Mazza Soprano says, Gladwalls told them all to bring their phones. Now the FBI can track them like they did J6ers. Captain JP says, are we blind? Deploy the Insurrection Act. Jackson Cagle with the $3 super sticker. Thank you. Defending Truth says, you see John Rocker in Ohio confronting minorities? No, but I want to. John Rocker confronting minorities? That sounds like a fucking Netflix original that I would sign up for. John Rocker's racist as fuck. Hang on, I gotta find this. John, dude, like just make a series called John Rocker confronting minorities. Oh my God, that's like I would pay to watch that. Let's see here. Okay, right. Former MLB pitcher John Rocker visits a taxpayer-funded daycare in Columbus, Ohio, named that. The place is open. There are no kids. The only person there is an angry migrant that screams at them to leave.
Hey, come here. Oye. Unga. I'm being screamed at in some kind of Swahili. Yeah, come here. Someone there.
Dude, John Rocker. John Rocker is who all those Xbox 360 kids pretended to be when they were in the Call of Duty lobby. Because all of those kids that were screaming the N-word and all the racist shit, they wouldn't say that shit anywhere else. John Rocker is who they pretended to be.
Oh. Here we go. Here comes the fucking costume. My wife dropped my son off at this location. I need to come pick him up for a doctor's appointment. Yes, here. LeBron.
LeBron. His son's name is LeBron. Holy shit.
No, unless my wife's lying to me.
No, I'm not an officer. I'm an evidence. No, I'm a reporter.
They got my kid in there, LeBron. I'm not good with.
Maybe you can provide insight or information.
That's not your job. We have a license. Ask them, go to the online and ask our license. This is not your job.
Ah.
No, it is my job to investigate the use of public funds.
Show me if you have permission. I'm not going to give you any permission.
I don't need permission. I'm a citizen of Ohio, and I'm a taxpayer, and I'm actually here as an investigative reporter simply to ask you if you receive government funding, if you've been visited, and what your impression is of the allegations.
They have only the African people. You see what happened to the media? They harassing us. I'm gonna give my lawyer. Do what he's gonna do, guys.
That's awesome. Yeah, I actually did hear about this, but I never watched the video, so I'm glad you brought that up to me so I could check that out. But that is funny. John Rocker's awesome. You know, it's weird with the age, you know, how much your perception of things changes. And obviously the world has changed, and the liberals and the Democrats and the political ideology. But, you know, when I was younger, you know, you would, the word racist, you know, and if someone was labeled racist, you know, you would think like, oh man, that's a bad person. You got to stay away from that person. They're racist. Now, you're like, oh, that person's racist? Oh, hell yeah, my boy. Let's fucking go. We can hang out. We can tell jokes together and he won't get offended. You know, like that's the world we're in now, man. But the left did this. The left did this. You did this. You labeled everybody a racist and a sexist and a misogynist to the point where it lost all meaning. It means absolutely nothing. No one cares. Nobody's offended. What the fuck is this shit? What was that? Kind of scared with this feed. What's going to pop up on this feed now? All right. Well, I mean, ultimately, this channel is just kind of cutting into different feeds. He's giving you different perspectives of different feeds and different locations, all of that. Which again, I want to give a mention to this channel. So Brandon Barlow, that's who I'm watching. So if you do want to see these when I cut away from it or whatever, credit to that channel. Mods, if you can drop a link. I don't know this guy, but he's got multi feeds and he always does that. So credit where credit's due on that. Infinity Flare says, so now they're riding in Good's name just like St. Floyd, but will she receive a golden casket? Probably will. Modalicious says, reminds me of the Three Amigos. Oh, great. Real bullets. Taker says, Ludacris has a great song encouraging people to move out of your way. Perhaps ICE can license it. You know the one, Jeremy. Ryan does too. I think we all know that song. Storm Shadow says Quality Leering Center owner is Netflix Ryan. Drinking Midget says, did I see that right? Look at the fence video again. The gate was open. These people are shaking a fence that is open. These people are fake. That's a good point. Let me go back and look at that. Slain Hope says, we need Wild West justice. That's the only answer. EHEF says, so the anti-ICE people are demanding people's papers in order for people to avoid being detained or attacked. Interesting tactic. It really is, isn't it? SBZ says, people love trash talkers is the reason why Dwayne Johnson was very popular as The Rock back then. Trash talking is awesome. I agree. Oh, now the super chats have populated. It just took them a minute to get in here. It's really weird how that happened. Orbital 1970 Goat says, these people sound like kids yelling at high school football game with their stupid chants and lame banter. Chewbacca says, in these crazy times, I just want to look at the bright side like Kathleen Kennedy is gone. Always knew it was coming soon. Hashtag Doomcock was right. Josie says, it's hard to watch this crap. Trump needs to stop this now. There's John. Says, wait a second, I thought I paid Jeremy. John, who does run the channel, gives me my talking points before every stream. So I can tell if I'm doing well. So with John running my streams, I can tell that I'm doing okay when John sends super chats. But when John's not sending super chats, I start getting nervous. I'm like, fuck, I'm not doing a good job. But if he sends super chats, and I'm like, all right, he's happy. He's happy. And this is how he intimidates me. It's subliminal messages that John... He's like, I'm not going to send him a super chat, and he's going to be very nervous. So it's a good tactic, which I respect. Let's see. Mega Mike says, I got that one. Operation Outstanding Film, I got that one. Editor MG got that one. Michael says, first time super chat, Jeremy, would you watch a G.I. Joe live action movie or a TV series with Taylor Sheridan behind it? I absolutely would. I'm a big fan of Taylor Sheridan. I talked about that in my video for Geeks and Gamers about, the thing with Landman. And I don't think Taylor Sheridan is above virtue signaling because he's virtue signaled quite a few times in several of his series. But overall, Taylor Sheridan does very good, work. Like I said in the video, he's behind Yellowstone, 1883, 1923, Mayor of Kingstown, Tulsa King, Landman. He did Hell or High Water. I think he wrote that one. He did Wind River. I don't know how many of you have seen Wind River. Wind River is a fucking phenomenal movie with Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen. Wind River is great. Very, very underrated, and not a lot of people talk about it. But Sicario, yeah, I think he wrote Sicario. You're right about that. I forgot about it. Hell or High Water is great. So yes, if Taylor Sheridan was behind it, I mean, that would be my choice to have him behind it. Let's see. Editor MG says, who pays these protesters? A Soros organization? Yes, among others. Slain Hope says, Obama Biden showed me they did whatever they wanted. MAGA Mike says, stop listening to black pilling. We're winning. Meek Kada says, check your mentions. Graham Robbins says, John Rocker is a national treasure. MJ says, you need to make that cup for D-Day Cobra. Homicidal Violence says, Klarna 199. Teresa Young, member message 31 months. Dirk Mather says, dropped you an instant message on X. I'm a lifelong Minneapolis resident about 3 miles from last night's excitement. Quiet here. Noted. Okay, I didn't see that one. I'll check yours too. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. MJ says, I got that one. John freaking Murdoch says, mwahaha. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if that means I'm doing good or bad, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, back to let's see what's going on a lot of these this feed I want to see, because these feeds are kind of, well, I guess they're posting up. Let me get some audio right here.
Dude, it's amazing, these guys. Dude, it's amazing. It is very astonishing.
Okay, so we've got this right here. White leftist is now in excruciating pain after being pepper sprayed by federal agents because he relentlessly screamed in their faces and obstructed them. Inject this into my veins. Cry. Your tears are delicious. Your tears are delicious.
I know. Water. Flush it out.
Oh man, guys, you've got to stop. I am getting hot and bothered. This is turning me on. One more time. Usually a proper 199 is what gets us that type of content on this channel.
Open your eyes. Keep moving. Open your eyes. Come on. I know. You're good. We got you. You're good. Water.
All right, I can't tell if did something happen or did he just find out that Trump was elected. It could go either way. Look at this. All right, we've got to slow-mo it with sound. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? This is the production value. This is the production value you look for right here. Okay, top tier production value.
Water.
All right, we got to find more video of this shit because this is too fucking good, man. Let's see. Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. Trump has a message for that person right there. So that is Donald Trump's response to this individual. He heard that this individual was in pain and suffering, and so he wanted that person to know his thoughts on the situation. Right there. This is what we were talking about earlier. In an incredible moment, President Trump has been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize from Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Machado in the Oval Office. This photo, the photo was taken underneath George Washington's portrait of Machado, saying, says 200 years ago that Lafayette gave Simon Bolivar, whatever, a medal with Washington's face on it. 200 years on in history, the people are giving back to the heir of George Washington a medal. Look at that. Let's be clear. She knows what she's doing. I respect what she's doing. I respect game recognizes game, and she knows what she's doing. She knows that she has to sweeten up on President Trump, and I respect it because these motherfuckers are going to lose their minds, okay? And in the moment that happened, ladies and gentlemen, John freaking Murdoch with a $200 super chat. Liberal tears boner tax 6690 to go. Boom. That means I'm doing a good job. When Sean's not here, not super chatting, it means I'm not doing a good job. But in all seriousness, thank you, John. I appreciate it. So this is awesome. So I want to know. So I guess that what I just read, is that what it says on the plaque here? Listen, man. Trump looks like a kid that just got an N64 on Christmas Day. He looks like a kid that just got an N64. He's so happy. He's so happy. He's so happy. By the way, I want to be respectful here. You know, we talked about this person earlier. This is the individual, a 21-year-old activist that was injured by ICE, and they're having trouble sneezing. They are now blind in this eye, and I want to be respectful. And so I'm glad Joe Rogan got the interview. And I'm also looking at that one. Listen, man. I've told you time and time again, the internet doesn't give a fuck. And you just have to understand that. You have to understand that. Once you understand the internet doesn't give a shit, you will be able to navigate it in a much better way. Like case in point. I'm going to show you guys something really quick, okay? Case in point. This right here, okay? This went mega viral on Twitter. This is going to be someone that a lot of you don't know. I'm going to bring up a name that you don't know, but it's to further my point that the internet doesn't give a shit. No matter what you do, doesn't matter. The internet doesn't care. So, massive Twitch streamer, Kai Cenat. I'm not a fan of Kai Cenat, okay? He has quit streaming. He's walked away from streaming. He was the biggest Twitch streamer. And he's been uploading videos of himself reading books so that he can present his words better and articulate himself better. Now, I think this is a very respectable thing, to be clear. I think this is very respectable. Kai Cenat, when you listen to him back in the day, he sounded like you would expect him to sound. Anyway, so he's been uploading videos lately, and his speaking is a lot more eloquent, and it's a lot more easy to understand him. And he uploads a video of him reading to become a better speaker and showing when he messes up words and how he wants to learn what the word means and how it sounds, okay? This video has 60 million views. 60 million views, okay? He's getting completely roasted. And it's just like, this is what the internet does. I find what he's doing very respectable.
Spontaneity. How do I pronounce that?
It's like me reading a super chat.
Spontaneity. Oftentimes when I don't know what a word is pronounced,
Gary,
I get to look at how it's pronounced and what it even means.
Spontaneity.
The condition of being spontaneous. Spontaneity.
Now, what I like about this is beyond the memes, because he's getting annihilated on the internet. Because it doesn't matter. The internet doesn't give a fuck. Like, this is legit, like, respectable what he's doing. He's showing vulnerability. He's trying to learn, and he does have a massive audience of the younger generation. So it's showing them that you want to better yourself too. It's a great message, but it doesn't fucking matter because the internet is roasting the fuck out of him.
Spontaneity of life. Hardly such questions set.
Okay, this is my favorite part. Okay, Michelle says, "Then go to school." Pot meat kettle? Pot meat kettle? You said Van go to school. Oh, that's beautiful.
A false what does that mean?
Dichotomy.
Dichotomy. A false dichotomy. What does that mean?
See, I do. I think this, but again, the point being is that the internet doesn't give a shit. And as long as you know that, then you'll be fine. You'll be completely fine. Back to this, though. And again, big shout out to Kai Cenat for that, even though I don't like the guy, whatever. This is super cool. President Trump looks super happy, like a kid in a candy store. And this is a very, very good play on her part. Ultimately, the difference in, whatever you think her motivation is, she's willing to do what she needs to do in order to get to what she needs to get. That's how you play the game. This is the difference between all of these leftist psychopaths and someone like her. Now, I don't know what her beliefs or true deep down motivations are or how she feels about Trump, but she's willing to put all of that aside to do what she needs to do to get what she needs to get. That's okay. Leftists would never do this with Trump. They are not allowed to. Jeremy, you and the word ultimately. Ultimately, I don't use the word ultimately that much, but ultimately I get to a point where ultimately I feel good about not using ultimately. So ultimately it works out for me in the end, ultimately. I will go out of my way to say it more now. Lytton says, how can we take down a dictator with no casualties but maintain order in the U.S. city? It doesn't make sense. Hang on. How can we take down a dictator with no casualties but not maintain order in a U.S. city? It doesn't make sense. It's because of the laws in the United States. It's because of how we are built. It's because you have to respect the states. It's a double-edged sword. There's a reason the United States is the greatest country in the world, because we are a country of laws and rules, and states, rules and laws and leadership matters. You don't have to like it, but that's why we have the country we have. So Trump internationally in situations like Venezuela clearly has far more power than he does in specific states within this country. You have Democratic leadership. You have Democratic leadership in the governor position, in the local position of mayor. You have Democratic judges. This is why this happens. Ultimately, now I'm just going to say it for the fucking saying it. Ultimately, that's why we have a great country. Thank you, though, Litton. I appreciate it. Maza says, these people want Ralph Amel action bish. Raven Black Sparrow says, is that how they fill up jars? White tears of man. Chad says, 9 hours of driving and now I'm Lamau watching this. Thank you. Hey, man, if I can help for the Emperor, says good for him to better himself. I mean, that's how I feel about it, too. I think it's incredibly respectable, but the internet's going to be the internet. Fantastic Snuck says, Kai may be rich, but my goodness, he cannot read. I mean, to be fair, neither can I. Neither can Gary. Neither can Beardo. We're all fucking retarded. So I related to Kai Cenat when I saw him misreading words and going, what does that mean? You know, like, hey. Okay, right here. A federal agent was just forced to pull his firearm as rioters attacked their vehicle and blocked them from driving. Same BS from with me from a few days ago. Here we go. Good Lord, man. Bunch of fucking idiots, dude. Andy Plays Game says, Jeremy, your friend Beardo ultimately needs Kai's reading plan. Then he'll be better at super chats. I do like Michelle's comment where she's like, then go to school. I was like, oh my God, dude. If anything explains the internet better than that, you're criticizing Kai Cenat, but you couldn't even type the right word. That's fucking fantastic. I love the fucking internet, dude. It's great. What is this? Okay, that's 23. That's 23 minutes ago. The scam's over. Okay, we got that. Let me go back to this live feed, see if anything's popping. They've got the Portland feed up right now. So don't know what the what is this bear doing? Ice out now.
Yes, always safe.
Chrono Cross is frozen, my dude. It's my background. So it's a green screen of my background in my other setup. But whenever my camera was failing in the beginning of the stream, I had to switch off the video that I had, and I'm just using the image now. It's Jay. It's Jay hanging out. Jeremy is actually in a truck stop restroom. What is this? Moments ago, ICE agitators bashed the side of a federal vehicle in Minneapolis. Oh, that's another angle from the video we saw.
Okay, calm down.
Every one of these motherfuckers should be locked up right now. Lock every single one of them up. The 1A train for $69 says, forgive the oversimplification here, but if a city can be a sanctuary city, defying federal law, why can't a city be a federal income tax sanctuary city? I bet the commies would disagree with those sanctuary cities. Well, I mean, so my opinion on sanctuary cities is that I think sanctuary cities are, a violation into everything that America stands for. I don't even know how that's even, how is a sanctuary city even a fucking thing? Like, a sanctuary city goes against everything that America stands for. The fact that they're even a thing is fucking insane. It's unbelievable. Like, what are we doing? But again, Democrats being Democrats. But anyway, I'll read that one more time. Forgive the oversimplification here. But if a city can be a sanctuary city, defying federal law, why can't a city be a federal income tax sanctuary city? I bet the commies would disagree with those sanctuary cities. It's so easy to take a Democratic position and flip it to show the hypocrisy in it. It's just like anything else, man. Like, these people, earlier, I did a reaction to it on CobraCast, but I did upload a video to Geeks and Gamers talking about Landman and talking about the viral episode that, happened with his daughter Ainsley and the pronoun freak, and how the internet's kind of gone crazy over that. And this is where, like, consistency comes into the fold. I liked the moment in isolation on Landman, but I will be consistent in my argument to say I don't really want real world politics or messaging in my TV or movies at all. So while I liked that moment in Landman in isolation, I would rather it just not be in there, because it took me out of the episode. It took me out of the episode that I was invested in from a story standpoint. And I said that, and I'm like, I would rather it just not be in there. As funny as it was a little distracting. Now, the people that are reacting to it in a viral way, they don't watch the show. So they're going, oh man, this is awesome. This is bass. This is super cool. Yeah, man, I love this. And it's like, yeah, but if you're actually watching the show and you're invested in the storylines, when that moment happens, regardless as to how much you like it, it's a little distracting. I would have been like, I would rather know what's going on with Tommy. in the show. Somebody says Cam Higbee got attacked. Let's see if I can find. Do I follow him? Cam Higbee. I do not follow him. Let me follow him. Okay. Minneapolis riders kick federal car leaving facility.
This is a real job. It's a great job. Oh shit. This is a real job. It's a great job.
Let's see. This is the video you guys were talking about earlier. Even though this was a shockingly embarrassing attempt at taking down a chain link fence, these clowns need to be held accountable and should be arrested ASAP. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, look at this. So they're trying to tear down the fence, yet the fucking fence is open. They're trying to tear down the fence, but the fucking fence is open. Fucking fence is open. It's all performative bullshit. Good Lord. What a bunch of retards, man. Not surprising, though. Okay, let's see. Litton says, not arguing, just saying, I've been to jail multiple times in my youth, never been shot, beat up, or anything. I guess it's because I'm white or I listen to the guys with guns. Dude, I totally understand. I do. I totally understand. I mean, I've been pulled over by the police a lot, especially when I was younger. I've had my license suspended a lot. Like, I used to drag race a lot. I used to get into a lot of trouble. I had a 97 Z28 6-speed with a 350 LT1 engine. I want to start doing the Tim Allen. But anyway, so I had my Z28. I did a lot of street racing back in the day. Got in a lot of trouble. Got pulled over a lot. Never got shot. Never got killed. It's, you know, it's shockingly, I didn't tell. I listened to Chris Rock. You know, when I got pulled over, I listened. I listened to what the officer said. When I got pulled over, I was usually doing something wrong. But anyway, I've told the story though. It's the circle of life. So I had a 97 Z28. It had a LT1 engine. And I pulled up next to a guy who had a 6-cylinder Camaro. And he had his girl in the car with him. And I already knew what was about to fucking happen. I'm like, you motherfucker. You know what's about to happen to you, little bitch. You got your little 6-cylinder over there. I got my Z28. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm about to smoke this bitch. Red light turns green, smoked him. Feeling good about myself. Oh, man, I'm like, bro, I could take his girl right now. Feeling good. Look behind me. Camaro SS is behind me. If you know, you know. Camaro SS made me look bad because the Camaro SS had an LS1 engine and had about 40 or 50 more horsepower stock. So I just went home. I was like, fuck me. I just went home. It's like, I'm not, this sucks. It was awful. So it's like, damn it. Right when I was feeling good about myself. I tried many times against Camaro SS. It wasn't even close. Nothing I could do. What is this right here? Minneapolis mayhem. Rioters used a tow rope and a pickup truck to rip a supply locker out of a federal vehicle during an anti-ice. This was last night, right? Is this last night? Yeah, okay. This was last night. Okay. Yeah, that's last night. Okay. It just showed up on my feed. So, tail between legs, pretty much, man. It was very depressing. What is this? Okay. What is this? Ben Shapiro, Trump is the greatest foreign policy president of my lifetime. I don't think it's close. I think he's been spectacular on foreign policy. How does Gavin Newsom respond to that?
On foreign policy, which you put it to the side, I think Trump has been the greatest foreign policy president in my lifetime. I don't think it's close. I think he's been spectacular on foreign policy, and that's with many of my critiques with regard to, for example, Ukraine, where I'm significantly more hawkish than the administration has been.
And did you feel that way in his first term?
Yes,
I felt the same way too.
Yes, I was very much an advocate of his foreign policy. I thought that in terms of his foreign policy, he is, as he said before.
Bennis has already played this. No, I didn't. Bennis, shut the fuck up. I'm running the show, and John tells me what to do.
He's not got us into any major wars, which is a good thing.
We've used the military 6-7 significant times.
He has used the military in, I think, targeted and pinpointed ways that do not reinforce the Iraq War syndrome that we need to put hundreds of thousands of troops on the ground. I think the president has a very good feel for the thing about foreign policy is it kind of works like the New York real estate market. It actually is a sort of zero-sum win or lose game, and President Trump actually is quite good at those. And I think that on domestic economics, the president tends to bring a zero-sum approach sometimes to his
Never forget that Ben Shapiro in 2016 was the leader of the Never Trump movement. He also said Trump is a racist and a sexist and a misogynist. That's fine. We all make mistakes. Okay. He ended up supporting President Trump. Okay. All right. Is what it is. Cool. Trump becomes president. He just told you how much he loved President Trump's first term. Okay. President Trump has his first term. Then, of course, we all know what happened. President Trump gets the election stolen. He gets screwed over. They throw indictments at him. Ben Shapiro decides, I'm going to support DeSantis instead of Trump. How'd that work out for you, little Ben? How'd that work out?
economic issues that I don't agree with, because I think that you can expand the pie for everybody. But I don't think the same thing holds true generally in foreign policy, where when it comes to geopolitics, there's
Joseph says Vance called Trump a Nazi and he came around. Correct. He did. And he didn't backstab him a second time. See, I can forgive Ben Shapiro for Never Trump in 2016. I can forgive him for that. I can overlook that. But I can't overlook the fact that he fucking did it again when Trump was being railroaded by everybody. Ben Shapiro turned his back on Trump yet again. That's where I don't fucking forgive him. And I will always remember that not only did you turn your back on him in 2020, you initially were a Never Trumper. Ultimately, I won't let it go. There you go, nip slitter.
The winner and there's a loser. And it's all about relative power and power dynamics. And the president seems to get that on a very gut level, which is why in the Middle East, I think he did the right thing with Gaza. I think he's done the right thing with the Iran strike on Fordo nuclear facility. I think he did the right thing in extraditing Nicolas Maduro. I think those are all good things. I think that he has found ways to continue the funding of Ukraine via this sort of jerry-rigged NATO buying weapons and funding. I think that he has gotten a bunch of countries in Europe to increase their defense spending, which is something that even Mark Rutte over at NATO has said is generally a good thing.
All right, I wanted to hear that. I didn't know if we were going to get a response from, Gavin on that. But so these pictures of this ICE protester, they're being posted everywhere, and the memes are everywhere. I'm Caden Rumler, and I'm going to attack federal officers. My fucking eye doesn't work now. MAGA memers are savage. All right, they are the most savage group ever. Look at here. Rubio holding Trump's Nobel Peace Prize. So Rubio's just going to have to stand there and hold it now. He can't do anything else. He's just going to all right, I guess I got to hold another thing here. So there you go. Let's see here. We got this one. You should put some ice on that. You should put some ice on that. Very on point. Litton says, hell yeah for 10. Thank you, Litton. I appreciate that. Taker says, doesn't Kai Cenat know there is a place called Quality Learning Center that specializes in helping 29-year-olds read more good? Andy Plays says, Jeremy, your friend Beardo ultimately needs. Oh, I got that one. Fantastic Knox says, but you guys and Beardo can read better than Kai. I don't know. I mean, but that's the thing. Look, I don't watch a ton of streamers. I watch streamers in my sphere, but I don't watch like people outside of my sphere too much. But like with Kai, he was the biggest Twitch streamer. I can't imagine that he interacted with the chat at any level remotely close to what I do, right? And it's not just him. I am curious about other streamers, not like him, but like even like, do other streamers interact with the chat to the level that I interact with it? Outside of this sphere, because I know there's certain people that are like in our sphere that do it. Like, do other streamers interact with the chat like I do? Let's see here. But my point being is that I think that there is a fear in a lot of people that they're scared of having things asked of them that they don't know the answer. At says Jeremy interacts with the same 10 people. Hassan. So just read super chats or not at all. MC Martin. Well, I just read yours. Jeremy can't see everything. He's only human. Beardo's gay. Jeremy never reads my super chat, says Marmillan. He legit remembers all chatters. I try. Well, Jeremy knows nothing, so no problem there. Very true. Jeremy is bought and paid for by the chat. I want to clarify that really quickly. That's a pretty dangerous accusation, and I really want to address that. You said Jeremy is bought and paid for by the chat. I want to confirm that is 100% accurate. That is confirmed 100% accurate. Bought and paid for by my chats. Absolutely. I just wanted to clarify. Tweety tells us Jeremy used to never read my super chats when I used to send super chats, yet somehow he reads my non-super chats. Just like now. Let's see. Horror Amarada says you can literally build a reputation based on Jeremy and Gary's inability to read. Exactly. There's A-Train's $69 super chat. Thank you. Litton with the 20. Thank you. Stone Farmer says, wait, Jay's in a truck stop bathroom. Is that who's on the other side of the hotel? Like Dollface Pony Soldier says, use water hoses on the NPCs when it's 20 degrees at night. Slain Hope says, that's the only thing about LA freeway racing. It's more about how good of a driver you are. Me and my buddy used to race home for 30 minutes every day. Nick Echo Base Network says, hail Jeremy and the 199. Did you hear Kathleen Kennedy's officially out at Lucasfilm? Her exit interview is posted on Star Wars website. Source Star Wars is Star Wars is saved. Is it posted on like the website? I didn't know. I knew she left because I made a video for Geeks and Gamers, but I haven't seen like the specifics of it. I covered the Geeks and Gamers article. Linton says Jeremy is 199 all the way. Yes, I am. LTL Man says buying a piece before the share skyrockets. Thanks for the tall for all the streams, brother. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you being here and hanging out with us and making it fun. Varinet says, Jeremy, can you interact with this 11th person? I gotta wait and see what John freaking Murdoch says. Once he gives me the approval, I can answer the question, but that's how this works. Okay. He sends subliminal messages to me to let me know, yes, no, maybe, it's okay. That's how it works. So I will answer when I'm able to answer. But until then, I can't do anything. Cam Higby says, mod of rioters in Minneapolis mistook me for Nick Sortor and followed me to my car. They threw ice chunks at me and demanded I take my mask off all the way to the car. These violent leftists can't stand independent journalists filming them breaking the law. John freaking Murdoch says, go for it for 10. There you got it, Varanid. We're good to go. All right, let's play this. This is crazy. So they think that he is Nick Sortor, and they're following him to his car. These people are fucking crazy.
Oh, we got Nick back over here, huh?
I'm not Nick.
What happened last time, though? Remember when you went to get in your car? Oh, no. Oh, hey. Come on, come talk to me, man. Come on,
After
you
me,
tell us your
they
name
think I'm
last
Nick.
time. Oh, no, it's... Oh, dude, come on. We just want to talk. Aren't you here to report? I got a story for you. Well, come on. Come here. I'll show you the story. Come here. I just want to talk, man. You need to tell me your name, bro. Are you going to write another article about how scary the crowd is because they said your name and walked after you?
They're gonna follow us.
Yeah, what's your name, bro? Just tell us your name, dude. I'm not even mad at you. Your name's not Nick. I'm not even mad at you, bro. Hey, guys. Let him go. Let him go. Don't let him write another story about it. I mean, he's going to anyway, but, you know.
It appears they're no longer protesting us.
For the record, this is what Tim Walz ordered all of these rioters to do. This is exactly what Tim Walz said. Follow, stalk, and harass people. That's what he told them to do. This is Tim Walz. Everything that's happening is on Tim Walz.
Are you a part of the Proud Boys? Fucking pussy! We're the Proud Boys! Fuck the Proud Boys!
They're throwing ice.
Get out of here! Fucking weirdo! Show your fucking
They're throwing ice bricks at us now.
You're a bitch! Pussy! Show your fucking face! Fuck your mama! Show your face! Show your fucking face! You're hiding like a fucking scary bitch! Show your face! Show your face! I feel you see! Don't be a pussy! Show your fucking face! Be a man, right? Pussy! You're a little fucking girl! You're not a man! This isn't what men do! They protect their fucking communities! What are you doing? You're walking away like a scared little bitch! Yeah! I should be in school! I should be worried about my education! No, it's not about my safety! Are we agitating you? Are we agitating you? Are we agitating? Show your face! Show your fucking pussy! Show your face! Show your face! Show your fucking face! You fucking Trump loving pussy! I should be in school! I should be in school worried about my school! Not my safety! I should be in school! I'm a student!
Just keep walking. Get in and start the vehicle. Okay.
Start the vehicle. Fucking pussy bastard! Yeah, get the fuck out of here!
They're saying drop him. Drop him.
So I just saw this hit my feed, but Elon's baby mama, who was a MAGA supporter, and now she's gone like full leftist, Ashley St. Clair completely reverses her support for ICE, concedes Mark Cuban was right about ICE tearing apart families. Holy crap. She's now trying to get Mark Cuban so Elon won't have anything to do with her now. So now she's trying to get Mark Cuban to notice her.
I saw vast amounts of people coming in here who we did not know who they were. And from my perspective, I was like, this is a massive national security issue to not know who's coming in here and to see burned IDs and passports and buried IDs at the border. And we don't know where these children are. And at one point I was arguing with Mark Cuban in direct messages about this issue when he was on his like Kamala spin and he was a bit of a lol cow. And he was telling me, you know, Ashley, they're going to torture people. They're going to pull women and children out. They're going to pull grandmothers out. And Stephen Miller is going to go berserk. And I was like, that's not going to happen. You're wrong. They're just going to get the criminals out. And this is a national security issue. And I reread those messages a couple of weeks ago, and there's like dozens of messages between us. And I'm like, oh my God, Mark Cuban was right. Everything he said, I was like, Mark Cuban was right.
Holy shit, dude. That is wild. That is wild. So yeah, she is she's doing everything she can to get into the good graces of the Dems now. And they're going to accept her. Because of course, that's what she's going. That of course they are. But listen, I think we need to get like we're an echo chamber, okay? Because we are. I mean, it's just that's how the internet is. And I think we need to step beyond the echo chamber. All right? This is what I'm asking my audience to go on a journey with me, okay? Let's get beyond our echo chamber. You all think illegal immigration's bad. I think it's bad, okay? Right? So, illegal immigration, we all think it's bad. Okay? So, I think we need to step outside of our echo chamber and see what Barack Hussein Obama thinks about illegal immigration. Okay.
This administration, the Bush administration, has done nothing to control the problem that we have. We've had 5 million undocumented workers come over the borders since George Bush took office.
Okay.
It has become an extraordinary problem. And the reason the American people are concerned is because they are seeing their own economic position slip away. And
interesting. So Barack Hussein Obama thinks that illegal immigration is a problem and there's a lot of undocumented people in the country? Wow.
Oftentimes, employers are exploiting these undocumented workers. They're not paying the minimum wage. They're not observing worker safety laws. As president, I will make sure that we finally have the kind of border security that we need. That's step number one.
Border security. Interesting. Okay. Well, hey, this is really nice. This is really nice to get a perspective outside of our own. You know, often we get, we all agree and we talk about these things. So it's just, I'm glad that Barack Hussein Obama agrees.
Step number two is to take on employers. Right now, an employer has more of a chance of getting hit by lightning than be prosecuted for hiring an undocumented worker. That has to change. They have to be held accountable. Start shedding some light on the problem, and we can once again be a nation of laws and a nation of immigrants. That's what I intend to do as president of the United States.
Okay, well, thanks for that, Barack Hussein Obama. But look, man, one clip, one person, maybe it's AI, maybe it's edited. You never know. So let's hear from Bill Clinton, Big Willie style, Slick Willie, that some people call him Slick Willie. Let's see what Slick Willie had to say.
Not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crime.
Well, hold on just a minute. Okay. I'm clearly, and we know that MAGA memers are really good. Clearly, a MAGA memer has created an AI video of Bill Clinton using Donald Trump's language. There's no way this is real. It can't be real. This is a MAGA memer had to do this.
To better identify illegal aliens in the workplace as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws.
Whoa! A nation of laws.
It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
Okay. Standing ovation from a lot of people. Man, it's got to be AI. Can't be real. No way. No way that's real. Impossible. Impossible, I tell you. Hold on. But Obama only deported criminals and he never separated families. Okay.
We should.
That's what the libs say.
Do it smartly and go after folks who are criminals, gangbangers, people who are hurting.
Gangbangers, you say, huh? Gangbangers, you say? Well, got a word for those.
The community, not after students, not after folks who are here just because they're trying to figure out how to feed their families. And that's what we've done.
But that's not what the New York Times has found. It reports 2/3 of those deported under President Obama had committed minor infractions, such as traffic violations, or had no criminal record at all. More than 5,000 children whose parents were removed from the country have ended up in foster care. Each day, reform is delayed, and estimated 1,100 more people are deported.
We should.
But Barack Hussein Obama is their hero. The people that are protesting right now, these people worship Barack Hussein Obama, and they never protested when Barack Hussein Obama was deporting illegal immigrants for traffic violations. It's almost like this is all fake and gay. Almost indeed. Who built the cages, Joe? Who built the cages? Let's see here. Steve Ray says RT Media is on location and streaming on Rumble. I meant IRT Media. Hey, Jeremy, check out IRT Media. Things are popping off. Well, we're about to wrap it up here, so I'll have to check that out another time. But anyway, we are about 2.5 hours. So it's been a good stream. Graham Robinson says 304's mad. Here, there's a few more that came in that I missed. Bill Herb says, hey guys, I think she should be on school. Mar Miller says, Cubans settling for Elon's sloppy seconds as always. Burbshid says, can't leer because she's scared of her safety. Better go to scary people than antagonize them. Hashtag liberal logic. 100%. But yeah, it's been a good stream. So CobraCast the next hour. See you there, everyone. No, not tonight. But we'll be rocking and rolling. I'll be back tomorrow night. I don't know if I'll do one during the day because I'll be out and about tomorrow. But tomorrow night, CobraCast returns. I'm sure there's going to be a lot to talk about. So Barry says, W stream partner. I appreciate it. Clearly John is happy, so we're good with that. John Wayne says, I read better if I went to Quality Learning Center rather than Jeremy's IDOT school. What? I would highlight it, but it's not showing up in StreamYards for me. So, thanks for the stream. Have a good night. Thank you. And again, for those that are not aware, I upload pop culture shit over here. So go check these videos out because we got to get the algorithm back. I have another video coming out tonight. So it's going to take a while to get the algorithm back. That video got 41,000 views. That's pretty good, though. So you guys go over there to Geeks and Gamers. Subscribe if you have not. and get ready for more videos from me over there. So I do appreciate it. I hope you guys have a good night. Appreciate all the support. As always, make sure you like the video, comment afterwards, help it in the algorithm anytime, any way you can. It's appreciated. Have a good night. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.